be. That's all I need.
That's all we need to happen. You guys, if you were with us maybe a couple of months ago, back in
Yeah.
October, November, we also tried going on Instagram Live, and that was a massive disaster. It was so horrible. I was sweating the entire time, 15 minutes full of sweat. And today we are live officially. Look at us.
Let me tell you, you don't understand why this is such a big deal for us.
It's
You
such a
don't
big
understand.
deal.
We've been wanting to connect with y'all live for a bit now. So we're winning today. This moment, no one gets to take this from me and be like, it's just Instagram Live.
Yeah.
No.
And the next time we do it, it's gonna be even better and better. And then it's gonna be like so professional. You think that like we're actually professionals at this or something.
We've hired a whole production team.
Yeah, exactly. I hope that YouTube is live. I don't really know how that works either. But Saley, why don't you kind of introduce the people on what we're doing today? While I double check on YouTube, and then show us or show the audience members the surprise.
Oh
That
my
is not really
gosh.
a surprise, but it kind of is.
This is Stu and I's Galentine party, hangout, chit chat. We've owed you guys a live interactive moment. We promised that we would be like in your feed, all up in the business often. And we haven't been able to sort it out on Instagram. So today we are coming to celebrate, first of all, our Galentines together. And like I posted on my story, some of you have already seen, you can count on Thu to be extra and have pizzazz, right? Look what Thu mailed me, guys. Can you see it? Look at it. It says, "You got this." I don't know if I'm ever going to eat this one because I need the reminder. I need the reminder often. And then there are little pills. It's a capsule with like, it's so cute.
She did such a good job with that. I didn't even give her that much instruction. I just said, like, can you put a little pill on it?
Yeah, and this one says, "Hey, RX friends." I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm glad Henry didn't open the box. I think he would have eaten it.
They smell really good. It's vanilla flavor.
Oh, yes.
And fun fact, she made 13 cookies and I ate one already. And they're really good.
They're really good. I can't wait to enjoy it.
So for Galentines, let's see. Oh, there's already a couple of people watching us. Hello.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you guys. Okay. Yeah. So for Galentine's Day, I thought that we would start out with some fun Galentine questions. And then we'll move on to something that's a little bit juicier, which is talking all about dating your pharmacy classmates. Like, this is not even like dating in pharmacy school. This is like dating your classmates.
There's an extra layer of like, there's an extra layer of like complexity and juiciness that adds. It's different though. It's different that we're in the same school. We also have to be in the same classroom.
And then we're in the same profession. And then the profession is tiny. So then
Oh, so girl. Then get into it. Oh
God. Well, before we do all of that, before we get started on all of that, I just want to do our little quick spiel. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Hey RX Friends podcast. Hey, RX friends, we got this podcast. This podcast is coming to you today. It's available on Instagram. It's available on YouTube. And then the recordings will be also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. This is our second bonus episode. How cool is that?
We're really excited. We wanted to switch it up.
What? And so if you guys are watching us on any of those platforms and listening to us even after Galentine's, make sure that you are rating the podcast. You are writing in the comments section that you are interacting with us, because you guys, this has been such a crazy roller coaster of a ride. Like, we are seeing our listenerships go up. We're seeing people listening to us and reaching out to us. And it's just so wild. It's beyond my wildest dreams, I think, that this is actually happening and that people are curious and interested in what these two ladies have to say and have to offer. Like, this is so weird.
This is me hiding.
But this is also like the perfect time to to talk about the love that we've received from you all, and
Yes.
hopefully we can also give some of that back to
Yeah.
you. It is the season of love.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Why do you
Thank
say it
you.
like that?
Absolutely. No, it's just
Love.
I don't wanna get, like, all mushy and emotional and whatnot. It's just you have this idea in your head about doing something, and it's always like the advice is do it scared, right? We weren't just doing it scared, but we were also doing it clueless. You know what I mean?
Completely.
Completely. Like we were doing it scared, but we were also doing it clueless. So when people are reaching out to us and telling us like what they love about what we are doing, what we're talking about, how they are relating to us, we are doing what we intended to do. And that was to build a community, to decrease that isolation that has found a really comfortable home in the profession of pharmacy, and we want to get it out of there because we want to build this community, and you guys are with us and we appreciate the support. I just had to
There's
echo
no
that.
community without everybody, right? So
Everybody.
so I've got a couple of questions for you, some
Of
juicy,
course you do.
spicy
Of course you
Valentine's Day questions, or Galentine's Day questions, I'm sorry. Um, so Sally, what is your wifey aesthetic? Quiet luxury or mob wife? What?
definitely, definitely not quiet.
Do you see her pink shirt? Do you see her hot pink shirt today? Look at that spice.
Listen, I'm trying to answer this like and say, be honest. It's
Yeah,
definitely more mob wives, like,
yeah, girl.
where like I'm at Costco, like, Henry, come on. What are you doing? We don't need that. We don't eat that. We're gonna trash that in 2 days. Come on.
Come
So
on.
come on.
What you're
um,
missing are like your long nails.
I
Your
know it has to
your
be
yeah,
stiletto nails, and
stiletto nails.
I'm missing. That's
That's the only thing that's missing. But the energy is there. The
it's
energy is
there.
there.
It's
I
there.
would say I'm more quiet luxury,
Yeah,
actually.
kind
Yeah,
of like
I see
me.
that for myself. Okay, chocolates or flowers?
Girl,
That's a
chocolate.
really?
I want I want to eat the flowers. I'm gonna be like, oh, they're dying. Give me chocolate. I want to
You're, like,
eat.
so disappointed.
Yeah, chocolate.
I actually
Chocolate.
really like flowers. I like both, but I like flowers. I do.
Yeah.
Mhm. I
I
don't know, we're so different. What's going on
I
here? We're
we're
usually on the same
different with this.
page.
I think we are, because I'm such a greedy girl. Like I just think about, oh, the chocolate. Oh, give
Yeah.
me chocolate. I get flowers sometimes, but my reaction when it's an edible, it's just like,
Different
ooh,
reaction.
muffins.
Different excitement. Yeah. Okay, how about this one? Jacob Elordi, yes or no?
Jacob who?
Jacob Elordi.
I don't
He's
know who
that
that.
tall guy. Do you watch, Euphoria? What
No,
about what oh,
it's
Sal
on my
I knew I should
list.
have sent you a picture of this. I knew I should have prepared.
But no, this is good because I can make the audience a promise and then like actually we'll get into it on future episodes.
Oh,
It's been on my
sad.
list.
Jacob Elordi. I think you've seen him. He's a really tall guy, white. Um, he's been in other shows, like, I think Kissing Booth or something like that. No,
Why don't I
I'm
know
sure
what
I've
that is?
okay.
I
Well, disappointed.
How come you didn't ask me a Taylor Swift question this time?
I will.
Like,
There's many questions.
oh, sorry, I should have known that.
Okay, do you ever play the game Marry F Kill?
Yes.
Okay, Marry F Kill.
Oh no.
Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn.
Well, I have to go with where the thing that I am having the most fun.
Passion for?
Yeah,
Okay.
like the platform I am having the most fun on right now is Instagram, which is so
Wow.
ironic. It's so ironic.
Wait,
Like
so
my
would you marry F or kill it?
I think I'm just gonna F Instagram. I don't think Instagram is mere material because LinkedIn, that's where my money is. Like LinkedIn, helps bring a lot of really good business. Like people that are serious, they're trying to get to the bag. They want to secure the bag. Like you are a product of LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn is where all the great connections are coming from. That is
Truly.
a Mary.
Yeah.
Facebook,
Gonna marry LinkedIn.
Facebook, rest in peace. Thank you for all the wonderful memories.
100%
Yeah.
get rid of I don't even go on Facebook anymore.
Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
still do because of how my family is all over the world.
Yeah,
It
I get
still
that.
it still is like this little hub where we still are able to keep in touch with everyone, but notifications on all apps are turned off. So I have to go look. And that doesn't happen often. That doesn't happen often. I'm
I
curious about
know.
you though. I'm curious about you.
I would do the same, to
I
be
knew it.
honest.
I
But
knew it.
I would've not only just, like, murder Facebook, I would, like, I don't know, do some horrible things to it before it dies, like
It's a true crime episode that writes itself. I have an image in my head. Hello, crime junkies. The story I have for you today.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be a bloody murder, yeah.
Emergency.
Okay, and then lastly, this is the T Swift the Taylor Swift, question that
Oh
we've been waiting for.
no.
Do you think Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are
I
endgame
don't
material?
care. I don't care.
But the people might care. The people might.
What? Watch our following go up by 10,000 overnight because I talk trash about Taylor Swift. Is that what it takes?
No.
How dare I?
Oh my god, we're gonna get canceled.
We're
End this
getting
live right
canceled.
now. I'm gonna end
They
this
are
live.
coming. They are coming for me. I'm just kidding. I'm not a Taylor Swift. I don't know. I feel like Taylor gives me hot girl summer, 12 months of the year vibe. Like she's on her own trajectory. Like everything she's done so far has kind of been her playing by her own rules. And I admire that. I admire that in a young female that she is, the 30-something-year-old that she is.
She's my age.
Yeah, like
Was born in 1989.
see? Oh my God. You're
Yeah.
so young. You're so young. I don't I don't think it's a marriage. If it's a marriage, it's not a marriage we'll see in the next year. Like how everybody's super hyped about it. It's not a marriage we'll see in another year. Now,
Yeah, I agree.
knowing my luck, watch us wake up in 2 months. Taylor Swift is engaged. You're gonna recall this moment right here.
I'm gonna delete it from the face of the internet. I'm gonna go back and just get rid of that. No, you know what though? For me, I'm like they could. I have no idea. I guess the answer is I don't know. They could go one way or the other. I could
Yeah,
see
yeah.
them burning in hot flames, or I could see them getting hitched very soon. Either way, it's a
Really?
very passionate thing that's happening right now, and so
Yeah.
we may get the answer sooner rather than later.
I know. It's
I
hot.
don't
It's
know.
piping hot right now.
It's quite hot, and I'm wearing red lips. Ode to Taylor Swift. You know, she's my girl.
You don't need to convince us. We know. We know.
Remember that time when I was reading Taylor Swift lyrics on the
Lyrics?
podcast?
And you made the audience cry with you. We
Did I
know. We remember. Our listeners are like, oh my God, I had to go pull that song up. And she's right. I'm like, oh Lord. Who's making
Rookies
the listeners
unite.
cry?
All right. Well, those are all the questions I have for me, Saley. What do you think of them?
They're cool. They're fun. It's Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
And the thing, here's what's crazy. In our marriage, this is not one that like either of us like pull all the stops out for. It's really crazy.
Ooh, what does that mean?
It's like we don't like he doesn't like buy stuff or I go out and buy something. I think we've always just like done dinner on the weekend because he works evenings. It's been on a weekday for how many years now? Forever. But we just take like we go out to dinner somewhere. But I know like in some relationships, this is like a deal breaker in some relationships, like Valentine's Day. But
Yeah.
it,
Deal
it's never,
breaker. That's so wild.
oh my gosh, like on Instagram, like some girls will
This
get
is why
upset.
this is why we kill all social media. Let's just kill it all. Except for LinkedIn.
And we have to say it. Social media, like tomorrow, it's going to be insane because that's when people would like reveal new relationships, and it's like rooms full of roses and flowers, and it's very over the top. That's what I mean. That like tomorrow, I'll probably come from work. Maybe there's a bouquet of flowers here. Maybe. But if there isn't, I don't know. Because over the
There'll be
weekend,
cookies.
maybe there'll definitely be cookies. I already know that, which I'm excited about. But over the weekend, I'm gonna have a bomb dinner. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. I mean, I think you celebrate how how you want on Valentine's Day for sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, like we said here on this podcast so much, like I don't know, don't put so much pressure on things that are,
Things.
societal expectations. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
That's
This
just gonna ruin your day and then
for
ruin other
no reason.
people's days. Yeah.
No reason.
Um, but we do want to talk a little bit about our pharmacy school flings. I was
Fling,
gonna say flings,
it's
flames,
a
whatever.
fling or dating. Louis seems super needy. Say hi. Bye
Oh,
bye.
get out of here.
Louis,
You're
special
not
guest
a girl.
appearance.
You're not part of Galentine's Day.
Yay, Valentine's Day. Goodbye.
um,
Yeah. So
so
did
you
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 date
dated you did oh, by the
people
way,
are
before we get started, yeah, I actually try to be so private on social media because of how public I am as a public figure.
yeah.
I I just try to be very private about personal stuff. So me disclosing my previous relationships,
Ooh,
this is a special treat for a
this is new
tiny part of the year.
territory.
Yeah. Because you never know
Oh.
what creepers are out there, and I've ran into some weirdos online, just
Oh,
being on LinkedIn and stuff. So I try to be very, very careful. But
oh.
for this special Galentine's event,
On
we will. I
LinkedIn? Right click, right click, right click, right
what
click right there.
what?
On LinkedIn?
Yeah, I mean a lot of places, but also LinkedIn. Yeah, there was this one person that, oh my
What?
gosh, yeah, he would just keep messaging me, like, over and over ago. I eventually had to just, like, block him because 'cause I'm like, "This is getting so creepy and weird." But he'd be like, "Hey, I'm going to this conference, like, you want me to fly you out?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know who you are." That's the weird hit on that you get on LinkedIn.
Who is getting offers to get lewd out? Girl, you better go,
Through
girl.
conferences.
Oh,
I'm
it's
like,
such a
"Okay.
okay. Thanks. Thanks. I
Thanks, but,
think.
no thank you." Okay.
Mm.
So anyways, so yeah, but on back to pharmacy school.
Yeah.
I did date a pharmacy classmate.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually dated a bunch of pharmacy people from, like, the span of pharmacy classmates to the end of residency because I was just meeting only pharmacy
I
people for a while.
know you were in the life.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it was, like, just constant, like, those were the only people you meet, like, either in school or residency or, like, conferences, so that's who you would just kinda, like, mingle with, and,
Yeah.
dated quite a few, and what I learned from that, it is very strange because pharmacy is a very small world,
Yes.
and you do run into people who know people who
Yeah.
has known people, and it's very strange. Yeah.
I always find it so interesting how post relationships can affect future relationships. Like, what I mean is, like, a guy you used to date, that guy's current girlfriend's sister now works with you. There would be like a weird vibe. Like, it's not even
Wait,
that.
what?
So, a guy that you used to date, let's say you date a guy in pharmacy school, it doesn't work out.
Uh-huh.
That guy's now current or new girlfriend, flirtationship, situationship, whatever,
Uh-huh.
a relative of that new girlfriend or situationship
Mm,
works directly with you. The energy is weird. The vibe is weird.
it's weird.
And for me, it was like people that just shot their shot and it didn't go anywhere.
Wait, this is this something that has happened to you?
It has. Where it's like someone that
Wait.
wanted to date me and I didn't want to date them. And now I'm working with someone who's related to them or who has a relationship with them. And the vibe is so weird. It just so happened that I can upstage anyone on the weirdness scale. So I just go straight up like, hey, let me talk to you. This is weird.
Whoa.
I
I
don't
don't
know
think
what I don't know
I
the
don't
story that you were told, but there's no
Oh.
reason why this should be weird. Like there's no reason. We never even went to
Mm.
Starbucks. Like he never even spent $8 on me. Like there was nothing. So I don't know.
Nothing like that has ever happened, but let me tell you, I met somebody at a conference, but he lived in, like, a completely different state on the East Coast, and then I live in Arizona, so, like, completely different states. We talked for a bit, and then we kind of, like the romance was going a little bit, but nothing serious ever happened because we were in completely different opposite side of the country. But then much later on, I got my job, my first pharmacy job, and one of my coworkers knows him because they went to school together,
What are
and,
the
like, they
odds of
know
that?
each other well, and I'm like, "Okay, what? This is not cool."
What are the odds of that? But in healthcare, in pharmacy, that's so common. The other night, my husband was telling me that there were, I guess, some Appy students at his pharmacy, and they're like, "Oh, you're Sally's husband," and he's like, "Yes," and he's like, "Oh, are you like?" Are you in my wife's class? Like, are you a student of my wife? No. Oh no, we just know her from Instagram and LinkedIn. And I was telling him, I was like, everywhere you go, my eyes are going to be there. my eyes are my eyes are going to be there and on you no matter where you go. But that
That's
happens
so
to
funny.
him a lot where like students come on rotation or other people and he's like, "Oh, you're Sally's husband." So now he makes it a point and he's like, "Hi, I'm Henry."
That's that is what it must feel like to, like, date Taylor Swift,
Oh my
if you're
god,
not
we're back to
to date someone famous,
you have
AKA Sally.
no. It's like if he ever hears this
That's so
and he's
funny.
like, did I just become the Travis Kelsey of that
Yeah,
situation?
he's like, "That's cool."
Like, I'm so,
Um, yeah,
oh
that
Lord.
is really awkward, especially because pharmacy is such a small world. But I've
Yeah.
never had that situation where I had to work with somebody who knew the person or whatever. But when I was in pharmacy school, I dated somebody that was like in my friend group. So it was
Oh,
like, yeah, and so we had this cute little friend group that we developed in our first year
yeah.
of pharmacy school, and then by the end of first year, people kept being like, "Oh, hey, so and so's interested," and then eventually he like did admit his feelings,
Oh,
whatever.
I-
Um, yeah, and so we dated, but it is kind of like it is so bizarre because like there is a strange dynamic of it being in a friend group. Like, I guess I've never really dated anybody that was, like, so close in my friend group before where you don't know what's being said behind your back sometimes, which is such
Mm,
a weird feeling because
yeah.
people are studying together, or not studying, they were studying together, but, like, they're studying together, and then conversations come up about the relationship, and I'm not there, you know what I mean? It's
Mm,
a
no,
really
what is it?
strange dynamic that I do not like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'm very paranoid about stuff like that
Are you?
because 'cause I'm like, "What are you
What are
saying
you
about
saying?
me?"
How come? How
Because if I'm already kinda paranoid that it's not necessarily, like, the most favorable stuff,
Yeah.
then that says something about the relationship itself, right? Like,
Oh man, that could snowball into so much.
so much drama.
I
This is where all the drama
know.
happens.
Like, I can't. You don't take anything serious. That's like, it's like
No.
killing me. Um, I think in our situation because I'd friend zoned Henry for 2 years,
You did not.
right? So it was it was like so clear that we were so into each other. Like people would be like, you guys are dating. You guys think you're keeping a secret. We saw Henry leave Hawk Plaza at 2 a.m. last night. And I'm like, we were studying. And they're like, yeah, you were studying. Right. But there are people, classmates of ours to this day, that we can't convince that he had been friend zoned and that's where we were going to stay. Because
What?
if you think about it, our program was so high stress, and I I saw examples of people that were dating in our program and how those were not ending up well. I just didn't want like a codependency situation. So I waited until we started appies, like when he would be in one location and I would be in the other location. And I was like, okay, if he's really into me, we'll both start making efforts to spend time together. And that's exactly what started happening. It didn't matter where we were on weekends, we would meet halfway. One would travel to come and spend the weekend where the other one's
Oh, were you
happy.
guys already dating or not yet?
No, not till the
Oh
third
my
year.
god, you're so
Yeah.
mean.
It was like it was hard for me too, but I was just because you have to remember, like, I was already 30 when I started pharmacy school, right? Like
Mm,
I just didn't want another failed relationship. Like I was done with the failed relationship and start over. Failed relationship and like
yeah.
I was just like I'm going to focus on like building myself and doing this thing that I've wanted to do for a really really long time. And this thing, like if it's serious, if it's meant to be, it's going to be. Like that was like what I was counting on. And the not like girl, the story is bad. He met he met another girl at another
Mm.
appy. It's juicy, right? At another
That's always my reaction to Sally's stories.
if you are watching this, like, you can't even imagine all of the gestures Thu's making right now. She's like, I'm getting to it. Yes, I'm getting to the juice. But
But Sally does that thing where she, like, takes forever to get to the point.
to the point, right? I was I was basically freaked out that Henry was starting to like another girl and I had to come out and was like, "No, I don't think I want you to go to this party with this girl because I think we should be together."
Aw, it's like a
And
freaking romantic comedy.
it really is. Like it took like all like 2.5 years of like pretending like you're okay. I'm not that into you. You're just a nice guy. You're just sweet. You're just to like he keeps talking to me about some girl he met on rotation. And I'm like, oh no, this is not happening. Like, I need to step in and mark my territory straight up and
So
just be
you
like,
guys
no,
so you guys were really just good friends because he would
we
tell
were.
you, like, girls
Yes,
that he would meet and stuff. I would be
yes.
so mad.
Oh my gosh. Like by the time we started dating, I think Henry started to get confused. He started to treat me like the homie. Like we would be out at a club or something. He'll be like, "Oh, that girl has a nice shape, but her face is ugly." And I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to tell me that.
No, 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 no.
I don't need to know your guy thoughts. I don't need to know your
Yeah,
guy thoughts,
that's
right?
so funny.
But it's also made it this super safe situation where the thoughts they come out. Like he tells me straight up what he's thinking, and I'm just like, no, no, I'm
Yeah.
your wife. No, no, no. You're not supposed to be
Um,
that free.
that's so interesting because I guess in my situation, when I started dating the person from pharmacy school, it was like a whole year of us being friends, and then finally, like, it came out that he liked me, had a
Oh,
crush on me, I guess, but I never even thought of it, like, I didn't even
yeah.
think that that was, like, a thing.
Because
Yeah.
you were busy trying to make the grades, too. It's a real thing. It's
Oh,
a real
sure.
it's a real
That's a
thing.
lie. No, but I think, yeah, I don't know, yeah, I really just was like, "Oh, I thought we were just friends," like, I
Oh.
think I kinda maybe, like, unlike you, you were, like, forcing the friend zone, I was truly, like, oblivious, yeah. I was like, "What? You? How?"
Living your best
Um,
life and just
living my best life, doing my little 21-year-old things and all that. Um But I think one of the things that we kind of talked about last time when we had a mini conversation about this was like one of the big things that really was an issue in that relationship was religion,
Oh yeah,
because I'm not a very
yeah.
religious person, and when it came to that issue, you know, the other person was very much like, I would like to be with another person who has the same religion as me, basically. And I was like, "Ooh, yeah, I don't know if I can do that." But you and Henry have different religions, and
Yeah,
yet you guys make it work out. So I want to
we
hear about this
do.
because
Yeah.
that's something that people don't ever really talk about, I
Talk
think.
about. Oh, yeah. And I think also part of why I was adamant about friend zoning and taking it so carefully and super slow, it's because of how I saw his relationship with his religion. Henry goes to church. He's very, very pious. He's very deeply connected to his faith. I'm loosely connected to my faith, but my faith is absolutely a part of my identity, right? Henry's Catholic, I'm Muslim. And I knew that the decision for us to be together seriously was going to transcend just we're in love. Like it was going to be deeper than that. He respects his mom's opinion and her positions and all of his choices and decisions because of his early beginnings and all of what they have gone through together. So I knew that approval or blessing from family was going to be important. He knew my relationship with my father and the fact that approval and blessing was definitely something from a cultural standpoint that I was going to have to get. And I think that we didn't start moving seriously towards the future until we knew that we'd secured that. But I think the biggest thing that happens in our relationship is that we are deeply, deeply respectful of each other's positions on religion. Like, he doesn't push it on me, I don't push it on him. And I think that that respect and the honesty, like, I have no intention of changing. I have no intention of changing. And I respect that. Like the fact that we both came from jump with that and led with that, I think that's how we've made it. And until this day, it is really and truly a non issue for us. It really, and I think like that's a blessing because I know that that's an area that a lot of people do struggle with, even if the beginning is smooth. But we are 11 years in together, and that has never been a pressure point in our relationship, thankfully.
Mhm. But
Yeah.
that's really amazing though, and
Thank
the
you.
respect is that's real, and I think yeah, I
Yeah.
think that a lot of people struggle with that very
Yeah.
much.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And I
because
think,
I think there was an expectation for me to conform into something that I
yeah,
just was not. I don't think that I would ever be ready for that. And
yeah,
when you're actually in a relationship where you feel respected of big choices, like I think religion is a really huge choice,
it's
political
big.
standings, these are
Yeah.
values, like
Yes.
foundational things that make who you are. And if somebody
100%.
doesn't respect that, that's very painful and it could be very tough.
It could
Yeah,
be
if you're
really, really
always
hard.
arguing about that.
You're
Mhm.
always arguing because it's going to be a pressure point. And like my whole thing was also like being accepted exactly as I am. That wasn't one of those negotiables for me, for the person that I was going to choose to spend the rest of my life with. I never lied and misrepresented who I was. I made sure that
Mm,
the person that I am is like that person showed up consistently for you. So if you've seen all of me and you accept all of me, this is a part of that.
yeah.
And if
But
I
that's an interesting point though,
yeah,
because I always think that y so I always struggle with this whole idea of, like, accepting somebody just as they are,
yeah,
because at the same time, you also want to be in a relation at least for me, I
mhm.
like to be in a relationship where somebody can push me to grow and to
That's
challenge me, and I actually really I prefer to be challenged and grow, and to be where I am today, sitting here and going live with you, was not just me, myself that pushed
Yeah.
me. Like, I've had wonderful people and then, romantic relationships that push me
Yeah.
to this point where I feel like, yes, I could go and do things because they've seen potential in me or whatever. And they're like, you're not living your fullest potential. You need to go out there. You know what I mean?
I
So
do,
there
but
is
I think that's
that
different.
distinction.
So
Okay.
there is that distinction, right? I think that there is truly a difference between a person who comes into your life and pours into you. And most people are going to have one or two reactions or responses to that. They're going to see that for really and truly the gift that it is, for like, huh, okay, if they see that, I should kind of work up the courage to lean into that as well. But I think that is growth improvement, professional and personal growth improvement and advancement. That's different from someone who comes in and tells me that the fact that I speak my native language with my sister in their presence, that is offensive. That is, to me, you are asking me to change something that is a core component of who I am as a person and how I show up in the world. That is different than I have fear of public speaking. I have ideas about becoming more artistic, but I'm insecure about my talent. I have ideas that I can contribute to improving other people's living conditions through my talent, my knowledge, but why would they listen to me? And you come in and pick me up from that place to lift me and encourage me to face and become a bolder, right? And more courageous version of myself. That's different than when a person is out to change a core composition of who you are. And that's
Mhm.
what I was categorically opposed to. I was
Mm.
not interested in that in my partner. Um, I wanted a partner that saw me. I mean, that really saw me because I wasn't hiding. I was showing up. Like I was showing
Yeah.
up straight up as I was. And I didn't want somebody that didn't see me. And then Henry has done that for me. Like Resi Prep coming out of the shadows and all that. He's told me so many
Mhm.
times, like, link up with other people who've done this and see how they can teach you
Mhm.
how you can take this thing to the next level. But I don't think that, and he knows if my sister calls me, we could be in bed. If I answer the phone and it's my sister on the phone and she's crying or she's upset, I'm hanging up the phone. I'm just telling her I'm on my way. I'll call you from the car. I don't care what we are doing. If my sister calls me, life stops. Am going to go check on her and make sure and see for myself that she's okay. And Henry he's gonna, like, even at our wedding, he'll tell you, like, what are some of the things that you know you can't come between her and he'll tell you it's food and her it's food and her family. Like
That's so
my
funny.
siblings can't call me in distress and we need to get into a debate about what I should be doing in that moment. And as time went on, guess the person who's saying, I'm gonna go warm the car up.
Yeah,
It's him,
that's really nice.
right?
Yeah, I would say that there's been relationships definitely, but especially I think very interestingly in pharmacy, the relationships that I've had, there is a component of I think like there's definitely an experience where somebody has held me back
Mm,
in pharmacy where they're like, "No, I don't like it when you do this and you do that," and it's very much just like, you shouldn't be your boldest self. I've also
mm,
had an experience when somebody was, like, competitive with me in pharmacy. Yeah. So I remember this person being like, "Oh, the RAS system or whatever," and I said something about the RAS system that he didn't expect that I would know. But I knew that, and he was kinda, like, taken aback that I knew, and he was very, like I mean, he was one of those that use certain things to kinda impress other people, so then because I already knew it, it was just, like, not it was just not cool, and so those are really crucial
wow.
experiences of
Yeah.
me being kinda held back and not allowed to be like, "Oh, but I do know that stuff. It's not that hard."
Yeah.
You know?
Authenticity, it's real
Yeah.
too. Like, and good for you that you actually pay attention and can pick up on that stuff. Um, I I could just, I'm lucky. I am very lucky. I'm very blessed. He's the complete opposite. He's such an introvert. That helps because I'm reactive. I'm impulsive, where he is incredibly calculative and thinks things through to the nth power. And he's teaching me, like he's teaching me those skills. And I'm learning that from him, that like,
You're both meeting in the middle, which is
yeah,
ideally what you want to see is people kinda growing
and
together.
balance.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's
You
what
gotta
I,
grow you gotta learn from each other. No, romantic relationships and romantic love will teach you a lot of really wonderful, wonderful things about you, and where I am today would not I would not be
yeah.
here if I didn't have that experience, and, yeah,
I'm
truly
proud of you for
yeah.
like acknowledging that. Like everyone that comes in your life doesn't come to stay forever, but if they gave you something, it's still something to be grateful for. And I'm proud of you for that. I got a question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
So, for all of the Galentines out there, how have you managed to step into your power as a single independent badass podcast host, multiple podcast host, um, content creator extraordinaire, podcast audio producer? I'm I have a bunch of titles for you. I could go on forever and ever, but
Okay.
what are some things that you think you've done to help keep yourself in a space of positive self love? Because tomorrow, I can tell you, some people are going to struggle with social media tomorrow because they're seeing people displaying all this stuff, and they're going to bombard social media with a lot of stuff tomorrow. And people that aren't in relationship, for some of them, tomorrow could be like difficult. I'm curious.
Well, I mean, I guess, why put yourself through that if you know that that's where all the triggers are gonna be?
We're too much alike.
I mean, I
Too
honestly one of the reasons why I'm no longer on Facebook is because it was, so triggering for me during the pandemic that I stopped
much.
going on there, and then I actually have never gone back.
Back.
If there's no benefit for you to do it, then don't do it.
Period.
It's just not a thing, but I get it. It could be, it could make you feel like you're missing out on something
Yeah.
because everybody is making such a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
For those who are sad on Valentine's Day because you're single, I would say that remember that all those people who are putting stuff out there on Instagram, none of it is real. They're probably fighting as we speak.
Say it
they're,
twice. Three
they're
times for
fighting
the folks in
right
the back.
now.
For the folks in the back
Half
who
of
are
those
going to
people
have
are
issues.
I mean, half of those people are are miserable in some
They're
way,
they're
and,
faking and
they're
pretending,
faking it.
and
And, but not to say, the other half are completely happy, and I think that we could be you could be both. You can be definitely happy for all the really great relationships out there, but then you can also recognize that the other 50% is probably even more miserable than you are being alone. You know what I mean?
yeah. And that's
So,
so true. That's
it's
true.
just the
There is
reality of things. Yeah.
there is a there are worse things that you can be than alone on Valentine's Day. I had to think about it and say it slow because I wanted to make sure it made sense. But there are worse things for you to be than alone on Valentine's Day. There really, really are. You could be in a relationship that is absolutely miserable, that is toxic, that is abusive physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. Like you can't get anywhere in life for no other reason but because of who you're choosing to keep in your
Mhm.
life, right? Being alone on Valentine's Day would be 10 times better than being in that situation. So like perspective is everything. That's I
Yeah,
think
perspective.
perspective is everything. The people that are truly happy, wonderful. I'm happy that you're happy, and the people that are faking it, keep keep faking it until, and I'm
Fake it
praying
till
for
you
you
make
to
it.
make it to make it someday. Um, but don't have any type
Mhm.
of emotional connection with what you're going to see tomorrow. And
Mhm.
We
But that's
wanted,
what I had to tell my sister too, like, whenever she is going through a breakup or whatever it might be,
yeah,
and she's feeling really sad. I'm like, "Listen, I know that you feel like you're missing out, but there's a reason why 50%, the divorce rate is 50%.
percent.
So, don't."
It's wild.
Yeah,
It's wild. Like what the
Just
stats
because you're with somebody, it doesn't mean that you're happy, and so just kind of think about that as
are.
focus on your happiness no
Yeah.
matter where you are. But yeah, hopefully we're ending it on the
Oh,
on the right note, on a
that's
happy
our
note, but,
Galentine's message
our
for
Galentines.
everybody. Guys,
But yeah, I
and
feel like we didn't
remember,
touch on as much as of dating in pharmacy school as we thought we would, but,
you
that's
think
how it
so?
goes.
You think so? We give a lot of really great advice, and you got this, guys.
Remember, you
You got
got this. Saley, do you wanna do the outro? Do you remember it? You remember in the top of your head?
no. Listen, we are airing out all of our dirty laundry up in here today. Um,
But this was
Thank
really
you.
fun.
Let me
Yeah.
see. I'm going to freestyle this bad boy. Thank
Freestyle it,
you.
please.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for your encouragement, and thank you so much for your support in the month of February, in the month of love. We wish you nothing but love, abundance of all types, especially self love. This has been another special edition and bonus episode of Hey RX Friends, We Got This with Thu and Saley. And the episode will be available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast. Please rate our podcast. Please review us. This is how others get to jump in and join in on the fun. We are in it to create a community to make pharmacy less isolating. That's it.
And
Oh,
don't forget,
don't forget. At the end of the day, guys, we got
we got
this.
this.
Yo, we are
Bye.
so weird. Bye, y'all.